We have a sincere treat in the vocal athletics of this country. I'm telling you, we're bringing everybody we can possibly bring to the country, to Peterborough, here in front of yourself on 106.2 FM. Alternatively, get onto Facebook now. We're just about going on live, and you can see us in the studio. We have Santu with us here in the studio. I'm going to introduce him in a moment. Just if you'd like to interact, I'm not joking. Today is one of those days that you can absolutely get connected with Santu and get close and ask him some questions. Call in to the studio on 01733 602 133. Alternatively, you're welcome to WhatsApp us directly on 07745 278 978. I am not joking when I'm telling you about empowerment, something that happens to you on an inner vibration level. Vocals, singing, gawali, all these sort of environments, all these vibrational tones have that effect upon you. Today we have one of the most amazingly talented individuals, young talent, still in his 20s, by the way, singing since as far back as I can remember. He has enlightened his voice, bringing it to the audiences from whether it's English, whether it's Indo, whether it's Hindi, Bollywood, or whether it's Punjabi folk. And Sufi ghazals. We will be talking about that later on today as well, here tonight. Just don't forget to stay tuned in until 8 o'clock today, every single Tuesday between 7 and 8. Salaam Radio. Before I'm going to introduce him first. I shall have a little bit of a conversation here. His name is Santu Singh. This energy, this absolute dream of vocalism that we have in the studio today in Peterborough, would you believe, live, so you can connect and pop over here and get some signatures if you want. He is, the more I could say, I don't think it'd be enough. You know, basically, this young lad has won every single thing you could think of, from whether it's in online TV. His albums have been stumping the #1 ratio way back since 2013. You know, he's got some dangerously amazing tracks, and I think both of his releases in those days were #1s back to back, 13, 14 weeks each. This young lad has truly connected with us, connected through our hearts as well. I'm so proud and so privileged to bring to you live today, it's Santu Singh in the house.
Thank you Sukhi for having me. Thank you to Salaam Radio. सब तो पहला प्यार भरी प्रेम भरी सत श्री अकाल, नमस्कार और सलाम अलैकुम जितने भी दर्शक, जितने भी श्रोते सुन रहे हैं. A massive warm welcome from myself.
And that's basically, it was a Punjabi for the non-Punjabi speakers. That was basically a Punjabi greeting, just saying thank you very much for having us here, and in a very humble way. Honestly, I'm not joking. You will hear this young lad, this young talent who's coming back on the scene. He's taken a nice little sabbatical, took some time out for his family. We'll talk about that in a mo. But now he's back on the scene, and you really want to watch that space. So I'm just going to touch base with yourself, Santu, if you don't mind. Welcome to the show, as you always know.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, to be honest with you, and thank you for giving me your time.
I think it's our pleasure to have such a talent in the room from a musician. Now, just to give you an example, I just want to share something with yourself. These shows are about you as our guest. I don't believe the British nation actually truly understand, or the international nation was far onto Australia, Americas, and Africa's, India. Everyone listens to this show. This is a truly global context. Know where you're from. You know, what's your heritage? A lot of individuals think that you're just this young lad who's popped up out of nowhere, learned how to sing, and now he goes into the marketplace. But I know that you have a heritage in this, and not only that, it's an awarded heritage from Patiala Rajkhani.
जी Patiala Karana और what can I say? I'm born and bred in Nottingham, raised up in Nottingham. I'm privileged to be part of a musical family, a lineage of Sangeet, Musiki ka mahol. So
that means a musical mahol means basically an environment, a world.
Yes, that's right. So musical environment from 4 generations now. So
wow. 4 generations. That makes it, I assume, your great-grandfather
That's right.
Or was it the great-great-grandfather?
That's right. So his great-grandfather, my grandfather, my father also.
Please mention names. You've got to mention names now. This is not okay. We need to give the names out here.
So my dad was part of a group which, as you know, was partially based here in Peterborough.
And that was Sabras Group, right? The Sabras Group. And we have somebody here sneaking in the room as well, but he's hiding from the camera. His name is Buzz Singh. He's over here somewhere as well.
So massive shout out to Buzz. Like I say, I've learned a lot. Obviously, being part of a musical family, my father, Didar Singh, from the Sabras Group, who is my ustad, the person that who kind of taught me everything that I know. And like I say, the musicians that were around as well in the Sabras Group, they taught me a lot. Buzz, who's also here. He knows himself from percussion. I actually started off as a tabla player.
As a tabla player? Yeah. Wow, a percussionist. And we had that's such a diverse shift, isn't it? You're going to start from the grassroots.
It's one of those things when you're a child. The first thing, as they say, is rhythm. As your heartbeat also is in rhythm.
That's right.
Right. So we are naturally gifted with rhythm anyway, but I was lucky enough, and us Paramatma di den hai, Allah Ta'ala Wahiguru, ke mere par mehr hoyi, or I'm blessed.
Truly blessed.
The fact that had this rhythm inside myself, and I started as a tabla player, so I was tapping my fingers on the tables, on whatever that would make sound in order to create some kind of rhythm. So
wow.
I mean, from bachpan to, from childhood, I started off learning tabla. Mere ustad Gurmeet Singh Viddi Sahab. So I'm taking way back.
Absolutely.
From
we want it all, I'm afraid, Santu. You're going to have to divulge everything for us all here.
So no, it's a privilege to actually share this kind of information, this journey that I've been through on a radio station like this. So
it's wonderful for us. It's a sincere privilege for us to have you in the room here as well. And I'm not joking. If anybody has not heard of Santu's music, his voice, you will be getting some tasters today. And obviously in the first half we'll be talking a bit more about Santu. We'd love to create that depth of rapport, and in the second half we will touch a little bit based on what he's up to today. But if we're lucky, we might put him on the spot a little bit, because I know he's not so shy. He's the type of guy who just loves to perform.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Right, so in context, and we're talking about your father, aka also known as D Singh, right?
Yeah,
so D,
that's right.
the key vocalist, etc., from Sabras Group. And then prior to that, your grandfather, who was also not only a vocalist in the sense of as in traditional vocals, but also a religious vocalist. So what we call it is Shabad, which is kirtan.
So basically, my grandfather was like a Gyani priest at Gurdwara.
Yes. Gyani is a Sikh priest for anybody who's listening, and it's basically in a very highly regarded scenario.
So I was privileged to enough. Actually, when I started tabla, I was playing with my grandfather. So I played with him in Gurdwara, in the Sikh temples.
Yes.
So my music actually started from that, really.
Wow.
So it started from a spiritual, which still is, but it's always started from a spiritual aspect, which is, if yourself, kirtan, Shabad kirtan is a praise of the Almighty.
That's right.
So
same as a naat, and same as what would you call it, any kind of chant towards God.
Of course. So my grandfather taught me a lot through those years, from a young age, learning how to do sangat, how to play tabla with a gayak gavaiya.
Wow.
Una naal bajana, it's playing a solo and playing with somebody's two different aspects, I believe personally. So I had the privilege to actually experience that and go through that through my musical journey. So everything is down to them, my grandfather.
What a humble grandson is what I hear now, because when you actually start to hear his voice, you'll realize where my awe is as well. Here I'm Sukhi Wahiwala here, but it's just the awe of having him in this room. We've been listening to his voice for 20 years. He's still a very young lad now. He's still in his 20s. Now, what I'm going to say is that basically you're talking about how an individual, we talk about rhythm, we talk about rhyme, we talk about vibrations, we talk about flow and all the context of that. So on a quantum basis, we are clear to understand that our rhythmic beat, our heartbeat, we have what we classify as ebbs and flows within our body. So there's a certain depth and relevance and resonance that comes into ourselves.
Yeah.
So when you're playing on your own, this is what Santu just said here. When you're playing on your own, and when you're playing with somebody else, it's like there's a new connection of something new, right?
It's संगीत is ਉਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਹੈ कि you're sharing the music together.
Yes. So the meaning behind
because
it. Because
there's music doesn't belong to anybody. Music is universal.
Such a beautiful
and we're just a participant of that one divine kind of source. So for me, music is more spiritual in order to connect to the divine, really.
Oh wow, what a lovely! I mean, over here, we're all God believers, and most of us on this in the audience that's listening here, we have a very young listener audience as well. I'm going to go back a second, if you don't mind. I mean, you started your journey about what sort of age within yourself? As Santu's journey himself in singing.
Wow, like I said, I'd like to say I've kind of done music from ever since I can remember, but professionally from the age of 10, 11. When I first appeared on TV.
10 or 11. And I know I heard you when you were 9 years old, right? That was Due to Buzz.
Yeah.
He played the track for me right there. It was a Craig David track. Trust me.
I mean, I was doing like recordings and stuff. Again, I was so lucky because my father had a studio at home, a home studio, which I was, playing about on bits and bobs on, Cubase it was at that time. But obviously I did a few recordings and performing at events and stuff. But then professionally, at the age of 11, I appeared on Star Ticket, which was a Disney Channel competition.
Wow, Star Ticket. Now, this is when you're about 11 years old.
That's right, yeah.
So come on, you got to tell me what happened.
So, again, being brought up in this country, as you know, music is universal. So
it is, yes.
you're doing... as well as Punjabi, as well as Hindi, as well as your Urdu, you're doing English as well. So obviously being your first kind of mother tongue here in this country, I was very, very keen on the R&B, the soul kind of music, which I still am now, which is the reason why I can, pretty much project what it is that I need to.
From inside.
Well, कोशिश करते हैं बस और कुछ नहीं है. But so. On the Disney Channel, I came in semi-finals and sang Alicia Keys' song.
And you know where this is going now, don't you? You just know. The audience is sitting here. You know where this is going. I'm going to have to push you on a little button here because we have to sit down and think about what's happening with this. He's played and sang an Alicia Keys track. Now, it's not been planned. But I'm going to press your buttons, right? I'm going to press your buttons. I'm going to give you a few seconds. I'm going to keep jabbing on there. Tell me when you're ready, because I want at least one or two lines off the song.
Them kind of songs I haven't sang for years, so I wouldn't even be able to remember the lyrics.
Anything else then? Something in English then, whilst you're in there, because you got to really savor. The Salaam Radio team here are absolutely amazed about this. But we're going to start with an English track first, and then we'll go a little bit later with some other stuff, if it's okay, if you don't mind.
No problem. There's an artist who I'm massively inspired by. I also regard him as a teacher, and that's Stevie Wonder. I love Stevie Wonder.
Really
growing
amazing.
up, I listened to him a lot. So I'll give you one of his songs.
Please do. Please do.
Lately I have had the strangest feeling, with no vivid reason here to find. Yet the thought of losing you's been hanging round my mind. Far more frequently you're wearing perfume. With you say no special place to go, but when I ask will you be coming back soon, you don't know. Never know. Well, I'm a man of many wishes. I hope my premonition misses, but what I really feel, my eyes won't let me hide, 'cause they always start to cry.
Wow, man! I'm
Thank
telling you, what an absolute gem.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to tell you something.
You really put me on the spot.
I was going to say that what I've got to say to you, everybody, all the listeners, if you're listening to this live, I'm telling you, he had no practice of that, nothing at all. I've just put him straight on the spot and said, "Come on, give me a track right now." I'm going to continue in this vein, by the way, another time later on, so you're not getting off soft ear. You're one of my personal favourite singers, I have to say. And I don't mean this lightly. I'm truly, we've had Eighth Army, we've had everybody, we've had Jaggi D, and such great artists within their own rights. But there's an element of ghazal that you sing as well, and qawwali that you sing, that just absolutely. Now ghazal and qawwali are both traditional, you can say folk connections, and lyrics are so deep, and that's where I think you come alive. We'll touch that a bit later on in a second.
Thank you.
I want to talk a bit more about, if you don't mind, as a regular here on Salaam Radio, in specific our Empower Hour, our focus. By the way, if anybody wants to get in touch, I've seen some people who are in there called Baljeet Lar, who's actually turned out a great singer, and absolutely I agree. That's all on Facebook already started to come through as well. Yeah, and I'm not joking. This young lad is I'm saying young lad because it makes me feel old, but the reality is Santu is an absolute legend within himself as well. And we've got many other singers come as well, but this is today is about Santu. So my conversation to yourself is like, look, you hit the market. You came in and around about 2012, 2013 into the British Bhangra industry. The Bhangra is Bhangra Punjabi
That's
music.
right, yeah.
But I'm just going to touch a little thing. I mean, it doesn't come lightly. Every single singer we've had on here hasn't just fallen on your lap, right? So
100%.
Give me some journey.
What can I say? Music industry, as in any business, apart from the music element, is a business also.
Yes.
So if you look at it with that viewpoint that you're going into a business now, into an industry, is a whole different ball game, from the music. Okay, we do our, we learn our craft, we learn our art.
Arts, yes.
And we fall in love with that,
Wow.
But the business side of it is it's
hard.
very, very difficult. They're very difficult because there's different concepts that you have to adjust to, different state of minds, different structures that people want you to mold into.
Yes.
And music is not about that. Music is a free form expression of who you are
and talent. Yeah.
And but I was lucky enough that I didn't experience a lot of hardships, due to obviously having a father who could give me the advice, pass his experience down to myself, and again the people around me who were already in the music industry, they would always give me good advice, give me good avenues or ways to go.
That's lovely.
So my Salaam, my respect. I take my hat off to those people who have helped me,
who supported
along the way, and I've had a lot of help from a lot of people, so I'm thankful to them.
Well done. And did you, by any chance, I mean, the conversation I'm having is, when you signed off your very first album, did you have any challenges in either releasing it? Because we have a lot of young listeners here, and they're all full of this talent, and they want to expose and express themselves. And we had some singers here as well who really kind of changed the whole atmosphere within the music industry, within the religious arena, and they've been a constant inspiration, as you are, to the next generation. My question to yourself is, what challenges did you face cutting into the market? Obviously, we've talked about business. We've talked about how the art and the business don't necessarily mix. But personally, what was your first album like? How did you release that?
So, like I say, so my experience is obviously you got to find the right manager. You got to find someone who's going to put the material out there. again, before all of this, you got to have the product ready. So it takes a long time to actually get a song to a standard that, because I see myself as a person who is never satisfied when it comes to music. Always see myself as a perfectionist. So that took a long time for me. It took a journey. My first song, Nayo Lagda, which I released in 2013, that, believe it or not, was recorded a good 5 years before we released it.
So 2013. So we're talking about 2008 it was produced.
That's right.
Oh, amazing.
So even we was going to, I think even the vocals that we used for that track was a good couple of years before it actually released. So it wasn't my vocal at the time. It was maybe a year or so before.
In the making.
The making.
That's down to your perfectionism, yes?
It's just, we have the song. So what happened was we had the song. We had a couple of labels who were interested. But it's a bidding kind of market where you got to get the right deal, who can push it to the right markets, get it out there, and get it heard by everybody. So we went through that hurdle, which is not always a nice kind of journey to go through. But I was thankful. Had a label who took the project on and also did the marketing and everything that we was actually satisfied with. So, and then the song became a hit.
Wow. Well, it sure did. It stayed number one for absolute ages. I can remember turning the music on. It was radios on. Santu, number one again. Number one. Does it stay on number one? It's amazing.
So we put this hard work through, all of this, but it's ultimately down to the listeners.
Wow. So just can I ask a question? Sorry to disturb you there a little bit, but I don't want to break the flow. I'm going to ask you to sing a couple of tracks, just one line of that particular track. But before we get there, I just want to ask you a question around your perfectionism. So every single artist has a similar challenge of perfectionism. I myself had the similar challenge when it comes to speaking and talking and getting things right and writing material. So how do you get over that challenge? Because that's so important for our listeners.
You just have to come to compromise. You have to, with everything, you got to compromise. I mean, you will never be perfect. It will never be perfect.
So for advice for the younger generation listening,
you have to do your best.
Yeah.
And then when you know it's time, then it's time. I mean, I remember my father saying that's it now, it's done. I mean, the producer on it, DSD, amazing talent, amazing
DSD
producer.
His name is Durham?
Durham, yeah.
Yes, Durham.
So we worked really, really hard on this. He did extremely hard on the production side of it, making sure the sound was... So every time I would listen back, I would say, no, that's not right, man. The tabla's not right, tolki. And then you got the mixing, mixing side of it as well. So there's so many layers.
Yes, I can understand
to the cake. But you have to compromise. You have to come to an understanding that enough is enough, because if you overdo it, then also it can go the other way. So
yes. Because now I agree with you 100% there. Sometimes you can, like your dad said in specific D. What he said basically, he said, right, no more. That's it. Enough's enough because it sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Is that
that's what it is. That's what it is. It's all pure instinct. When it comes to music, I rely on instinct, on the gut feeling. If it's sounding good, then it's ready to go out.
Then it's ready. So, is there ever a time, should I say, that you should always have, if you're in the singing, vocals, or even the music in instrumentation, etc., percussion even? Is it a good idea to have people around you who understand your art, but also understand the market, so they can say, right, enough's enough?
You know what, this is a big factor now, because I believe what I'm seeing now in today's music now is totally different. Before you would get, before you even go into a studio, you'll get somebody who will direct you and say, sing this way, do this, do that. And I think we're missing that element, and that element was used a lot
in the earlier days,
pre-80s, 90s even.
So somebody had an eye on the market and then said,
so you have a team of people. Even when it comes to the creative side, when it comes to the music, you have people who are listening in and giving you feedback. Nowadays, just artists are going out with their own kind of instinct, and just, which is not bad, but it's not their fault either.
I suppose it's more creative, but a little bit more hit and miss, right?
That's right, yeah.
Got it. That's a really valid point. Thank you very much for bringing that on. But you won't believe how quickly time is going.
Really?
Do you believe there's only 1.5 minutes left?
No way.
Yes, absolutely.
No.
So before we get on, I mean, if anyone's listening, if you just tuned in, this is Santu Singh. He is a sensation when it comes to vocals and voice. I'm going to ask you to sing a little bit, if you don't mind, of Nayo Lagda.
Yeah, no problem.
If that would work, yeah. So when you're ready, and then I'll put my thumb up when you'll know that we're right on time. So let's go for it, please.
बड़िया उम्मीदां तेरे आउण दियां रखियां तेरे राह विच बिछाइयां असीं अखियां बिना माणे लंघ जे ना जोबन दी रुत नी गीत कोई मुहब्बतां दा गाजा किथे सोहणीए नहींओ लगदा दिल तेरे बाजो सोहणीए याद तेरी हरे वेले आवे मैनू सोहणीए नहींओ लगदा.
Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, what a track, what a talent in the room
Thank
today.
you.
If you've just tuned in, we're about to stop for our first break. Do join us back again on Salaam Radio 106.2 FM, or alternatively, go onto Facebook, engage, connect, WhatsApp, get involved. It's Santu Singh in the house here in Peterborough. See you very shortly at 7:30.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
It does not take much to bring some difference. You give some change, which makes a change, because nothing gets mileage like a charity. Just a little change turns into a chain, and before we know it, the results are massive. So give a little to make a big difference. To give donations, call UKIM on 0207 387 2157.
दोस्ता की परेशान है
जरा कर है ना सारा सौदा मुक्या वा मुल्का विच पैसे भेजने
हूं नहीं अमार फूड वाले की फोन खड़का ते फ्री लोकल डिलीवरी कार मंगवा
आलाता उथे कै स्पेशल आ
उना की लबाई हाइजीनिक ग्रेड 5 चीजें चंगियां म्यारी ते सस्तियां ते नाले ऑफर ही ऑफर
और क्या
ताजा गोश्त ताजी सब्जियां ते फ्रूट आटा चावल दालां मसाले ते जूस सारे बिल जमा करने गैस ते इलेक्ट्रिक ने टॉप अप भी करने पाकिस्तान पैसे बिल्कुल फ्री भेजने मतलब के एक चिड़ी ने दूध छड़ी ते हर शै लबनी
उठ जने ने आप उतरा
Amar Food Store and Halal Meat 613B Lincoln Road Peterborough telephone 01733 687374.
In a city of 1,000 restaurants,
one stands head and shoulders above all others.
experience home-cooked food in lavish surroundings on the waterfront
Upgrade your dining experience.
to the restaurant that exceeds all your expectations.
Mumtaz Leeds, Chadwick Street, Leeds, LS10 1PJ. For more info, call 0113 424 211. Mumtaz Leeds, the majestic restaurant.
Free car parking available.
Mumtaz Leeds is HMC certified.
Do you own a restaurant or takeaway? Cater Fair is an expert supplier of new and used commercial catering equipment. Visit caterfair.co.uk for quality equipment on sale at the lowest prices, or call us on 01733 310 115 or visit us at 11 Royce Road, Fengate, Peterborough.
My name is Khalid Siddiq.
I'm Saif Adam.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Baraka Blue.
Yo, this is your boy Harris J, and make sure you guys stay tuned to Salaam Radio 106.2 FM.
عن أبي مالك الحارث بن عاصم الأشعري رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الطهور شطر الإيمان والحمد لله تملأ الميزان وسبحان الله والحمد لله تملأان أو تملأ ما بين السماء والأرض والصلاة نور والصدقة برهان والصبر ضياء والقرآن حجة لك أو عليك كل الناس يغدو فبائع نفسه فمعتقها أو موبقها.
The blue sky is blue like blue bubble gum, but it prays to Allah.
Broadcasting 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is Salaam Radio.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Sukhi Wahiwala, your host this evening on Empower Hour on Salaam Radio, 106.2 FM. Alternatively, you can listen to us via the app, so you can download it from the App Store on Android as well as iOS, Apple, and you can also turn around and watch us live, which a lot of people are right now, on Facebook Live on Salaam Radio. Alternatively, we also have YouTube Live for you to tune in today. We have already been wooed completely by Santu Singh, the absolute phenomenon when it comes to phenomenal person singer, and the phenomenon himself when it comes to vocals here in any aspect as well. He's already given us a brilliant brilliant sort of vocals on English as well as actually our Punjabi a moment ago. I am not going to hold him back. I'm going to go straight into bringing Santu Singh back in. Welcome back in.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, wow. What an amazing conversation.
Thank you.
This is just about you, Santu. So I know you're a little bit shy around a few things, and I know obviously you have a very strong element of art, because I do understand that you have a real respect for Guru. Guru means a teacher, and specific somebody who takes you from dark to light. You are a trained vocalist. Yeah, you've won many, many awards. Now, I know we've spoken a little bit. If you were interested in trying to cut into the market, anybody who's listening, listen to the first half of our show on Salaam Radio. But I'd like you to share what's been your inspiration in life. I mean, who have your gurus been, etc.?
So basically, everybody who I've listened to have been my inspiration. Right from kind of the English Western music. Your Stevie Wonders, Michael Jackson, Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, Jasmine O'Sullivan, Lauryn Hill, which I had a pleasure of actually watching live.
Where was that then?
I think it was in London, the O2 Arena or something like that.
Truly classic, Lauryn Hill.
Amazing experience. So, my experience has been, my inspirations have been right from the Western to the Punjabi, Indian, classical, Urdu, Ghazal, Qawwali, to Ustad Nusrat Ali Khan Sahab, Muhammad Rafi Sahab, Lata Mangeshkar ji, Asha Bose ji. So a lot of diverse artists.
That is a hell of a spectrum. That's an amazing spectrum. What an amazing spectrum. And you also touched on just earlier that your own father, D. Singh, was also quite an inspiration when it comes to actually learning the vocal elements of life.
My father actually is a person who kind of got me, introduced me to singers like Muhammad Rafi Sahab, a lot of in the Hindi kind of Bollywood singers, Kishore Kumar ji, and even Mangal Singh ji. So a lot of even the Punjabi kind of singers as well.
Now we hope to get Mangal Singh on here as well. Mangal Singh from Chirag Pachan, the original originator.
Absolutely
truly amazing.
So I got a lot of love for Mangal ji as well. So I've listened to these kind of artists. Growing up listening to these kind of artists who kind of influenced me. So after that, I was lucky enough to learn classical from my Ustad Iqbal Hussain from Pakistan.
From Pakistan.
Ji,
so
ji.
Iqbal Hussain ji, Ustad ji, are from which part in Pakistan?
Karachi.
In Karachi as well.
Yeah.
So is there a particular gharana, which means an actual, if you're listening in an English format, that means any lineage that they're following in the style that
So the style, as Sadaja style is Patiala Gharana from my great grandfather. So that is our gharana, but we respect all Gharanes, Gwalior Gharana. Mere duje Ustad Roshan Abbas Khan Sahab.
Amazing.
They are from the Gwalior Gharana.
Oh wow, Gwalior.
Ji. So I was lucky enough to learn classical, Indian musiki.
Yes.
So when I went into that is what changed me altogether. When it, क्योंकि मेरे उस्ताद जी ने कहा कि पुत्र तू गाते रहे पर गा की रहा.
Wow. Now, if you just to translate there, he was singing in front of his ustad meaning the guru, and he was basically his teacher, singing inside of him. He was singing all over the place and in control. But his dad said to him, "Yeah, I know you're singing, but what are you singing?
What are you singing?
What specifically?" That's such a deep conversation.
It was a kind of a question that kind of got me gobsmacked.
Wow.
Which is where then I started my classical journey. राग विद्या बंदिश classical जो तालीम है.
Wow.
So I am truly grateful to my ustadis who have actually taught me everything that I know up to now. So
I'm afraid
and I'm still learning. Music is an ocean.
Oh,
so you will never ever. आदमी कभी संपूर्ण नहीं हो सकता पर लेकिन कोशिश
जाहिर होनी चाहिए. That means basically a person cannot actually learn the whole complete art of vocals. You can't be complete, but you can definitely keep the efforts and keep the focus and the drive to complete yourself in your life's journey. Well done. Thank you very much for that. It's an amazing conversation.
So so when I learned the classical, and which I'm still learning, it kind of really opened my eyes to what music is. There's certain kind of styles, because wherever you go in the world, there's different styles of singing.
Yes.
Like I said before, music is universal. There is no language but you can understand the certain different styles of music that you can implement into your own gaiki. So for me, it's an ever-going thing, and that's why I'm still in love with music. I can never fall out of love with music.
That's just purely beautiful. Now, just for your reference, anybody else who doesn't know this, you won't, because in the background, whilst we were in our break, we even switched our air conditioning unit off here, because basically, even an air conditioning unit has a vibration that kicks off, and it knocks the singer's internal balance of sound, so they're actually following a different key, completely different. So just to show you how professional he is. But you know where I'm coming from now. You're talking about classical conversation. We've touched on some modern Western information. We've touched on Motown. We've touched on your own information, which we're going to come a bit further back into your own conversation in a moment. But I'm afraid I have to put you on the spot for classical. You've got this interview is about you, and it's about, we're just trying to project the beauty, the voice, the sheer humility you are as a human being, as a person. So please, if you don't mind.
I mean, I would like to share with you guys, with the listeners and everybody who's watching, is that I'll be doing my first debut concert, classical concert.
Oh my goodness, what an amazing! Where is this then, and when?
So it'll be happening, I haven't got the full details right now, but it should be happening in a couple of weeks from now. Which I'll share the information with you.
If you share it with ourselves here on Salaam Radio, we'll pop it on the downline as well, just so people can get in there.
That's right.
And by the way, you're very popular. You've got, let me give it says, good evening, gentlemen, from a gentleman called Sabil Hussain. And we have another one, Rena, who's actually my sister. She said, beautiful vocals. And she is a truly talented young man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for supporting us all.
Thank you for the listeners listening in. Like I say, without the listeners, we are nothing, as an artist.
Absolutely. Complete us, right? Complete you.
That's right. Yeah. So in a couple of weeks, I'll be doing my first debut classical concert.
And I think that's somewhere near London, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the outskirts of London.
On the outskirts. Good. Yeah. So whenever you get me that information, I will be happy to share it on. I'm going to tag you into our Facebook Live, so you can pop it on there for everybody to follow through as well. That'll be really good. Cool. So before we move on, I'm afraid I'm holding you. Can you see how see how cunning this young lad is? He's trying to weasel his way out of not from giving me a classical number. But
you'd have to come to hear obviously the classical side. Like I say, it will be my first debut concert, so please, I think it's sold out, to be honest, but you're more than welcome. I will post the stuff on Facebook, on my social media,
without a doubt.
So please do.
Lovely. So I'm going to take this conversation into a slightly different direction, because obviously I know you're up to some new stuff. You've already done the Qawwali understanding. Your Neo Lagda Dil was actually a Qawwali based vocals. And you, as you said, you took 5 years in the making of this thing. This is just truly amazing. So in context of that, this is our local Peterborough Salaam Radio, and this is the empowerment time. So we're here to empower people. So I'd love to hear, if you can, from one of my personal greats and favourites, the amazing, basic Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan Sahib.
Wow.
It's just, for me, it's an amazing conversation. So I want to stretch you a little bit, and I know we've got great listeners out there. There's lots of posts coming in here. So do you have anything that you could possibly bring into the fold with reference to a semi-classical but Qawwali style?
Ustad Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan Sahib, Qawwali, Tumhe Dil Lagi Hai.
Oh my goodness, what a favourite of mine. Yes, absolutely. Please, when you're ready.
तुम्हें दिल लगी भूल जानी पड़ेगी, तुम्हें दिल लगी भूल जानी पड़ेगी, मोहब्बत की राहों में आकर तो देखो, तुम्हें दिल लगी भूल जानी पड़ेगी, मोहब्बत की राहों में आकर तो देखो, तड़पने पे मेरे ना फिर तुम हंसोगे, है तड़पने पे मेरे ना फिर तुम हंसोगे, कभी दिल किसी से लगा कर तो देखो, तुम्हें दिल लगी भूल जानी पड़ेगी, मोहब्बत की राहों में आ कर तो देखो.
Goodness me, this is just so good. I'm not joking. I think from my heart I shall share, I'm bowled over. This is just for me, it's an interview that I'm absolutely loving, as I do with all of my interviews. But this is something about resonance, there's something about vibration, there's something about the connection. Now I don't want to go into Masaru Emoto and talk all about the science of quantum sciences, but the reality is something actually generates between two human beings. And I'm thinking everybody who's listening today, I've got claps coming up on there as well, and D over there, what a stunning voice. How is Sam?
Thank you.
So we've got individuals coming through over there. Thank you very much for interacting on Facebook Live. Please do continue. If you want us to sing a particular track, you can give it a good go. I'm not confirming that he's going to do this, but there we are. Because we've locked him in the room, and I mean seriously, we've locked him in the room. He can't get out. So we're looking for this. We've got him tied up and got more vocals from him.
Trust
right?
me, it's smaller than what it looks like on camera.
Oh, what an amazing journey. So, Santu, this brings me to a question. Such a raw, refined talent. Now I know they sound a bit of an opposite yin and yang in context. Raw because of your creativity, but the refinement, because I'm going to share with our audience over here today, if you're listening and watching us online, you can see we actually had a reverb on the original recordings. We were actually playing a reverb machine here to put his voice on there, and I'm telling you now, his voice sounded absolutely tone crisp without any reverb. So he's back to the raw talent that he is on this recording. And we switched it on, and I said, no, it doesn't sound as good. We don't need you to thin out all the voices, but he's perfectly done.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. Like I say, is your guys' love and support is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Oh, what a lovely conversation there. And I can't believe he's still 28 years old. What a talent for such a young person. I'm going to push you a little bit further, if you don't mind. I've got something in my head that tells me, I understand you're going into classical and you're doing a lot more in the classic environment when it comes to events and stuff. But Santu, tell us, what is Santu up to today? Because I know a person of your sort of talent isn't going to be hanging about with no tracks. So what songs are you putting through, and when is your next album?
Wow, such a big question. I'm doing up to all sorts. I mean, I've been finishing off my album, which actually recorded kind of like 16 to 17 tracks.
Now that is something special.
Trying to condense it to an album, which will probably end up being 10 to 11 tracks on the album.
That's quite a sizable album then.
I mean, I'm fortunate enough that my father has given me a lot of compositions, songs. We got Pyar Wafa Diyan So Kasma Khande Lok.
Wow. You can't just say it.
This is a song that mere Taji before they passed away.
God
bless his soul. They written, and my father actually had this song for over 20 years. So he goes, son, I've heard the song before, and it, it's a folk type track.
Is it something that you can share a little bit? One so line.
प्यार वफा दिया सौ कसमा खांदे लो प्यार वफा दिया सौ कसमा खांदे लो ओ पिठ पिछों लोकी कर दे लो प्यार वफा दिया सौ कसमा खांदे लो हो प्यार वफा दिया सौ कसमा खांदे लो.
Amazing. Now, thank you very much. I'm putting another one in there. It's giving me goosebumps.
Thank you.
I'm listening to this full-heartedly as well. My question to yourself is, is your Tayaji who sang that particular track, what's your Tayaji's name, just so we can mention it on there?
Bablu Singh.
Bablu Singh, that's amazing. And as Dee's older brother, right?
Ji.
Achha, very, very good. Superb. Now, it's going ballistic, I'm afraid. So proud of you. That's basically, that's Savir Kaur, is it? Savir? Satvir Kaur. There we are. We've got another.
That's my mother.
That's right. So, Rasikalji, how you doing, everybody there? And we've got another one in. Hi, Suk. Could you Santu sing a little track recently released? Oh my goodness me! Yes. Now, late last year, I'm going to talk a little bit about your albums as well. But late last year, there's Rena K over here, Rena Kaur, which is Rena Wahiwala, is my sister. She's actually mentioned, and it was something very specific to us as a family, because you released a track, which was an overlay over a Western track, I think late last year.
That's right.
Now, sadly, what happens is the lyrics themselves are transposable. So we, as a family, listen to the track, and I have never shared this with yourself, but I'll share it with you live on air. When my mum passed away, Gurmeet Kaur Wahiwala, God bless them, wherever they are now, they passed away in 1st December, and it was around about the same sort of time frame when you were about to release it. And now, if you remember, you'd sent me an actual a raw version of it, yeah, and we were playing it. And if you listen to your lyrics from the track, it actually resonates with somebody who's passed. And it was specifically, it was a girl-boy passed, but we could change in a Sufi way. You could change that energy, couldn't you? Would it be possible? This is not at all planned.
No,
at all.
Of course.
Would you possibly just sing some other track? This is a free download, if I'm correct.
That's right. I put it initially. This is before my. I think it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on YouTube and SoundCloud. So
that's right.
It was a free download. Again, this song was from my father as well.
Oh wow. I pushed that to about 4,000 or 5,000 people for you as well, by the way.
Thank you. Which I had the privilege. We had the kind of this instrumental, which it went really nice with. So I'll give you a quick line of that one.
And so basically, we took a lot of resonance from this when my mum passed away, Gurmeet Kaur. So
this is Onali Shardanjali mere velo. I'll give you 2 lines of them. Aja soniye ni आजा सोनिए नी सामने खलो के आजा सोनिए नी सामने खलो के एक एहसान कर जा एक एहसान कर जा कोई सद ले वकील से आना कोई सद ले वकील से आना ए जिंद तेरे नावे कर जा आजा सोनिए नी सामने खलो के एक एहसान कर जा.
That's an amazing track. It resonates with us personally. Thank you very much for sharing that as well.
No problem.
Basically, if you'd ever like to download that at all, please just find Santu on SoundCloud and also on YouTube as well. You can find one there. Can I thank you personally from my heart? Say thank you very much for sharing that
it's
track.
A pleasure.
And if the audience wants to get hold of you, I mean, how do they get hold of how do they engage Santu Singh? They say, we want to book you, because I'm not joking. I'm not joking. If you've got an event or a program that you need to be booking this guy, is so versatile.
You can catch me on Facebook. I'm on all the social medias.
So what is the handle?
So Facebook is just simply Santu, SAN 2 and then Singh, SINGH.
So just to clarify, it's Santu, but it's SAN and then the numeric 2.
Numeric 2.
Then Singh, SINGH.
That's right. And Instagram as well. You can catch me on Instagram, Santu Singh official page. SAN2 Singh SINGH official page.
And trust me, you will be getting some messages from there. I'm very, very certain. And what about on YouTube? Have you got a Santu page?
YouTube. I've just recently opened up a new account, which is S2 Music Official. So S2 Music Official.
Wow. What, please, if you can, you need to hook up with him, get it connected on there, have a listen to his new material. We'll be trying to give some more stuff. I think another one, my brother actually, Bob Wahiwala, is saying he's put 2-3 hearts out there as well. So
thank you.
They're all on the same place. Okay, so I can't believe where the time goes, Santu.
What time is it?
It's literally, I think we're on the last 5 or 6 minutes of this track. I want this to continue forever, please, if you don't mind. So I'm going to ask a few things. I mean, what is your next plan? What are you going to be looking forward to today? The next stage of where is the evolution of Santu? Because you've kind of every single thing that you've, with God's blessings, by the way, every single genre that you've moved into, you've kind of conquered and got to the top of it. And you'll probably disagree. I appreciate that, but I don't. And so where are you going? What's Santu doing?
Thank you. Like I said, I've just completed my album. Mm-hmm. So the album will be dropping later on this year.
Basically, to find that out, stick in touch with all your social media.
That's right. So, like I said, it'll be all on the channels, social media. You'll see it on your TV screen soon, with God's blessings. So, I'm dropping the album later on this year, and then also I've got a single coming out.
Is it coming soon?
Yeah. So that will be.
And what's that going to be called?
I can't give anything away right now.
Oh, we got him. So I thought I nearly had him over the barrel there. I know, but well done to you. That's no problem. So are we looking at the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months? What is it?
So we're looking more later this year.
A bit later, the middle of the year sort of thing.
We're just going through a few plans at the moment with the album, couple, with the label and everything. So we're just sorting out the business side of it. And
as you said earlier on, the business.
But I'll be honest with you, I've been performing a lot. I've been on. We've done a few concerts, mehfil concerts of our own, which I'm very, very chuffed with. I mean, a lot of people have been turning up. It's been sellout kind of.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do is I'm going to make this live on air. If we have enough people who would like to get involved and would like to listen to Santu sing at a mehfil here in Peterborough, please get in touch with the radio station or me, myself, Sukhi Wahiwala, directly. You can hit me up on any one of their social medias, as you know. Contact us here at 01733602133 or 07745278978. You know the drill. Get in touch with us, communicate with us, and we'll try to bring you the best artists that we can do to ensure that you're empowered and inspired to move forward in life. Now, if there were people who are listening to Santu and they fancied themselves as a singer or as a musician, do you think you could advise them to do anything? I mean, if they've had those dark days when they've sat down and they've lost their empowerment, lost their own inspiration to move forward, how do you kick yourself out of those sort of mindsets?
First and foremost, I don't see myself as anybody who can, because I'm a learner myself.
God bless, yes.
I'm always learning. But I would say, resilience, commitment, staying resilient with what you want to do, persistency is a key, I believe. Even when you are having those days where you feel like, nothing's happening but that's where your faith kind of kicks in.
Wow.
And it's all about faith in life. Everything, I believe, is about faith, having that faith in whatever that may be,
belief in
belief system. Yes. For me personally, it was faith in myself, faith in Waheguru.
Yes.
Waheguru Allah. So you have to keep that consistency within yourself, and always know that where there is darkness, there's lightness also.
Wow. The true sense of Guru.
So, where there's dark days, good days will also come. It's just a balance of life. So
what an amazing way of seeing life. I'm not sure if you can understand. This is a gentleman in his 20s, and he's thinking like an elder Sufi, somebody who's lived life. And this, I assume, is such a beautiful hand-me-down logic coming from your ancestral run.
Again, I mean, from a young age, I've always been around elder people, which I thank them for everything I know.
God bless you.
Because subconsciously, I've had a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge that I've heard from elder individuals.
Elders, yes.
And like I said, from most of my childhood, I was with my grandfather. So he had, as being a spiritual kind of religious kind of leader in his own right, I learned a lot from him as well. So, for me, is as a generation now, we need to learn to kind of accept advice and learn from our elders.
That's such a beautiful way of thinking, the humility, not just to deafen out the advice that's given from the elders, but actually to open your heart to receive the information. Now, a moment ago, we were just talking about how, what Santu was saying is how he has an inner faith, and the faith is something very special. We have 1 minute left. I'm going to hold you on. I can't believe how fast time has gone. That inner faith of belief in that oneness, in that one attitude. Now, before we cut off, I'm going to fade out with his voice, if you don't mind, but I'm going to turn around and say this is Sukhi Wahiwala. I really, really have thoroughly enjoyed myself today. This is the Empower Hour show every Tuesday evening between 7 and 8. But Santu, please lead us out with some kind of music. We've got to listen to your voice. We've got another 30 seconds. Please do. It's all your stage. I'll see you guys all next week.
Sanu ik pal chain na aave, Sanu ik pal chain na aave, Sajna tere bina, Sajna tere bina. Sanu ik pal chain na aave, Sanu ik pal chain na aave, Sajna tere bina, Sajna tere bina. दिल कमला डुब डुब जावे, दिल कमला डुब डुब जावे, सजना.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The best of you are those who learn the Quran and teach it." Sponsor a hifz from the Penny Appeal for just 70 pence a day to teach them to recite the Holy Quran. Call 03000 11